After losing my wife, I raised twin babies alone. My parents turned their backs, but my in-laws took us in. Can you imagine the gut-wrenching agony of losing the love of your life, only to have your own flesh and blood turn their backs on you, abandoning you and your grieving children? That was my reality. But what they didn't know is that their betrayal wasn't going to break me. It was fueling a fire deep inside, a quiet rage that would one day forge my greatest comeback and their most brutal comeuppance. My name is Barrett Winslow, and I'm 33 years old. I live in a quiet, rural corner of Kentucky where the fields stretch out forever and the morning air echoes with the distant neighing of horses. I'm just a farmer, working at a horse ranch for a good old man named Harvey. My life, once so simple and full of joy with my gentle wife, Courtney, and our adorable twins, Noah and Nora, was shattered in an instant. Our little home, though not wealthy, was always bursting with laughter and warmth. Then, like a sudden, violent storm, Courtney, my light, my everything, was gone. Cancer, swift and merciless, stole her from me just months after diagnosis. I can still see her in that hospital bed, frail but with eyes still bright, holding my hand, whispering her love for me, for Noah, for Nora. She told me to be strong for our children. I nodded, tears streaming, but inside, I just broke. She passed on a drizzly afternoon, leaving me staring at a gray sky that mirrored my heart. I was a broken man, left with two babies too young to comprehend their loss. Courtney's funeral was simple, just like her. We held it at a small church on the outskirts of town, the same one where we'd once promised forever. Noah and Nora, just 5 years old, clung to my hands, their innocent eyes not yet grasping the depth of our pain. They wore the little green woolen outfits Courtney had knitted herself, looking up at me, asking, "Where's Mommy, Daddy? Will she come back?" All I could do was hold them tighter, fighting back my own tears. In that quiet church, I felt the presence of loved ones, but also a cold distance that still stings. My in-laws, Leonard and Frances Fletcher, Courtney's parents, were there early. They stood by my side, their shoulders trembling with grief. Frances hugged Noah and Nora tight, tears streaming down her wrinkled cheeks. Leonard, a man of few words, just placed a hand on my shoulder, a gentle squeeze that said everything. Their eyes held a boundless love for Courtney, for me, and for their grandchildren. That genuine sincerity, for a fleeting moment, warmed my shattered heart. But then, my own parents, Curtis and Loretta Winslow, arrived. And a chill immediately settled over me. They showed up like it was an obligation, standing stiffly in a corner. My mother, Loretta, in her expensive black dress, lips tightly pursed, wouldn't even meet my eyes. My father, Curtis, stood with his arms crossed, his gaze passing over me like I was a stranger. No hugs, no comfort for Noah or Nora. Just a few perfunctory words with mourners before they quickly left. I stood there, watching them go, feeling my heart being crushed all over again. I knew they never accepted Courtney, never saw her as their daughter-in-law. To them, she was just that poor farmer's daughter, a disgrace to the prestigious Winslow family name. And I, their son, was the one who had chosen her. The days after the funeral were bottomless, and then watch the full story link is attached below.